afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Live at 4 on this last day of September.
Can't believe it. Almost October. Big night for the Brewers today. Wore my Brewers blue.
I got blue on, too.
Sending them some good luck.
Yes, indeed. 9 o'clock tonight, so we'll have more on that coming up. But here first is what's making news on this Wednesday. Last night's presidential debate seems to be on everyone's mind today. We'll share reaction.
The Wisconsin Teachers Union says classes must go online for everyone as COVID-19 cases around the state skyrocket.
And as cases soar, the state sees a record number of people who have died of COVID-19. But we start with breaking news this afternoon out of Milwaukee.
Officials say 7 people were shot at a funeral home. All of the victims were taken to the hospital and are considered stable. It happened around 12:45 this afternoon on the city's north side. A funeral was going on for a recent homicide victim. We're still learning more, and we will have more on this developing story on News 3 Now at 5 and 6.
Let's take a look outside on this Wednesday. Beautiful rainbow this morning as the sun was rising over Madison. Chili on the menu. I knew Chris Reese had to come up with those weather words because he is a chili man.
I sure am. That is indeed the case. When I wanted to use the play on words, that's because not only is this sweater season, it is chili season with some of the brands of colder air that are going to be coming in. And today, we're seeing another push of that. More showers and a couple rumbles of thunder have developed back towards the north and west. Lots of those are bypassing Madison at the moment. However, we could get a shower that pops up and moves in really at any given time. So that chance is there. Oddly enough, sunshine is what I'm seeing on the patio right now, but those clouds, they are certainly in the picture. They're going to stay in the picture at least as we begin to move into tomorrow. Here's how it looks over the city right now. A mix of the blue and the cloud cover. We're at 59 with winds out of the west and northwest at 14 miles per hour. Let's look ahead, folks, and temperatures begin to drop. We're going all the way down into the 40s as we head towards your overnight low, but at least the rest of this evening will be chilly. Just be on the lookout for that possible shower that may pop up. Traffic-wise, no big issues are showing up, but we are starting to see at least a couple brake lights tap up in their usual spots. We'll keep an eye on the weather and the traffic as we go throughout Live at 4.
We appreciate it. We'll check back in a little while. Thank you, Chris. First at 4, President Trump and Democratic nominee Joe Biden are taking their campaign messages to voters in key battleground states.
After last night's contentious debate, now the viewers and the candidates themselves are weighing in. Deborah Alfarone has more from the White House.
After a rather chaotic first debate night...
The left, will you shut up, man?
Listen, let me ask my question.
Well, I'll ask Joe. The individual mandate was the most unpopular aspect of Obamacare.
Both presidential candidates are back on the campaign trail. Democratic nominee Joe Biden discussed Tuesday's debate during an Amtrak tour from Ohio to Pennsylvania.
The President of the United States conducting himself the way he did, I think it was just a national embarrassment.
Meanwhile, President Trump hits Minnesota for a fundraiser and campaign rally.
By every measure, we won the debate easily last night. I think he was very weak. He looked weak.
During the debate, the president refused to denounce white supremacy and even seemed to issue a shout-out to a far-right group called the Proud Boys. That move caused backlash. Now the president is walking that back.
I don't know who the Proud Boys are. I mean, you'll have to give me a definition because I really don't know who they are. I can only say they have to stand down, let law enforcement do their work.
My message to the Proud Boys and every other white supremacist group is cease and desist.
A CBS News Battleground Tracker poll shows a huge majority of debate watchers felt annoyed by it, and an even larger percentage of viewers said the overall tone was negative. Deborah Alfarone, CBS News, the White House.
And in a statement, the Commission on Presidential Debates said it would soon announce changes to the debate format, quote, to ensure a more orderly discussion of the issues. Both presidential contenders will face off again in 2 weeks in a town hall-style debate. Meanwhile, the vice presidential candidates will take the debate stage 1 week from today. A longtime debate moderator in Wisconsin hopes the next round looks more like the one that she's seen here.
Our Amy Reed spoke with her today and joins us now with her suggestions. Amy?
These debates are supposed to educate voters with direct comparisons on the issues. Since 2014, the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association has allowed moderators to cut the mics when people went over time or couldn't follow the rules. Last night, it was apparent to everyone watching that was not a feature. Jill Geisler, a former broadcaster and leader in news media, said she hopes the Commission on Presidential Debates will put in more measures to maintain the purpose of these debates.
It isn't an entertainment program. It isn't wrestling. It's about education. It's about communication, and it should be about civility. And if you have to enforce the civility and the fairness by using a kill switch on a microphone, you can do that.
In addition to cutting mics, Geisler said the camera team and control room can choose to keep the visual only on the person who's supposed to be speaking. Don't cut away to an interruption like it's action. Now, both candidates would have to agree to these changes before they would participate in a debate, which is standard. And Geisler said in Wisconsin, they haven't had an issue with a candidate getting a candidate to agree to these terms.
Amy Reed reporting live for us. Thank you, Amy. Today is the deadliest day in Wisconsin since the coronavirus pandemic began. 26 more people have died due to complications from COVID-19. 1,331 people have died since the start of the outbreak. More than 2,100 people have tested positive for the virus within the last day or so. Teachers' unions don't want to risk adding any of their students or staff to those totals. It's why they're calling on DHS Secretary to cancel all in-person classes until further notice.
Adam Duxter joins us live from the DHS building downtown with why they're asking for this now. Adam?
Union leaders from both Madison and Milwaukee say a recent surge in coronavirus cases as well as a increase in community spread have them acting today. They're calling for an end to in-person learning throughout the state as soon as possible. Now, union leaders say in order to reopen schools following the shutdown, they would want to see 3 consecutive weeks of coronavirus cases dropping as well as a decrease in community spread. And while both of these districts are already learning virtually, the union saying allowing other schools to meet in person is a public health risk.
Gathering in large groups in poorly ventilated spaces is unsafe, and the governor has asked us not to do that. Please understand that going to school is gathering in large groups in a poorly ventilated space.
Teachers today say they're participating in a national day of action along with other unions throughout the country who are considering striking should they not get what they want. Now, as for if teachers in Wisconsin would go that far as to have a possible work stoppage, the unions say it's too soon to tell, but they're giving DHS Secretary Palm until the end of the week to meet their demands.
Adam Duxter reporting live for us downtown Madison. Adam, thank you, sir. CBS News has confirmed White House officials pressured the CDC to produce data to support the president's efforts to reopen public schools. New York City elementary schools reopened yesterday. Hours later, officials reported more than 3% of all the city's COVID tests are now positive. Outbreaks are accelerating in at least 9 neighborhoods in Queens and Brooklyn as hundreds of thousands of New York City students return to the classroom. The mayor says he will keep schools open unless the average rate of positive tests stays above 3% for a week. But Governor Andrew Cuomo warned he may intervene.
The schools are not safe. I'm not going to allow them to operate. Period.
CBS News has also learned the White House, including Dr. Deborah Birx, pressured the CDC to downplay the risk of coronavirus in children as the Trump administration pushed to reopen schools. One former CDC official told CBS News the White House was, quote, slicing and dicing data to fit their narrative. In a statement, the White House told CBS News, quote, President Trump relies on the advice of all of his top health officials who agree that it is in the public health interest to safely reopen schools and that the relative risk posed by the virus to young people are outweighed by the risk of keeping children out of school indefinitely.
Fire crews are making minimal progress fighting 2 sets of wildfires in Northern California. For the next 48 hours, fire crews will battle high winds and scorching temperatures as they fight the Zog fire north of Sacramento and the Glass fire in wine country. The Glass fire is the 4th major fire in 3 years in the Napa Valley. It destroyed more than 100 buildings and 80,000 people had to leave their homes.
Piling up what you need for your go bag and getting your cars gassed up. It's just, you don't even think about it anymore. It's just this mindless, numb routine.
This year, like in years past, the fire hit during the busy grape harvesting season. Firefighters are also exhausted. Crews have been going from fire to fire since early July.
Kentucky's Attorney General has been given until noon on Friday to release grand jury recordings in the death of Breonna Taylor. Daniel Cameron asked the court for a 1-week delay in a motion filed Tuesday, arguing it was necessary to protect the interest of witnesses, particularly private citizens named in the recordings. Protesters have not stopped demanding justice after the grand jury only indicted one of the 3 officers, former Detective Brett Hankinson, in the police drug raid that led to Taylor's shooting death in March.
I cannot fashion the facts in such a way to meet a narrative.
It would be more dangerous to set a precedent to not disclose everything to the public that you're allowed to.
The other 2 officers who fired the shots at Taylor, including the one that killed her, Miles Cosgrove and Jonathan Mattingly, were not indicted on any charges. The attorney for the anonymous juror who wants to speak out says his client felt compelled to take action based on how Cameron presented the grand jury's findings last week. An arrest has been made in the shooting of 2 L.A. County deputies. The deputies were ambushed in Compton while sitting in their patrol car on September 12th. Both were hit when a gunman fired multiple shots. They survived and have since been released from the hospital. A manhunt across Los Angeles that stretched for 2.5 weeks is now over.
Well, instead of letting their mother's wedding dress go to waste in a closet, 2 brothers in Columbus are making sure that it gets put to good use. This week marks what would have been Ellen and Mark Stroschein's parents' 72nd anniversary. Throughout her life, their mother Caroline kept her wedding dress close to her heart, but had no daughters or granddaughters to pass it down to. Her sons recruited a group of sewers at their church to craft the dress into 13 angel dresses that are now donated to the local hospital as burial outfits for babies.
Mother died in 2015, and wedding dresses sit idly in closets and garment bags, and nobody has a place for them. And nobody does dress-up day anymore. Everybody dresses down other people with their language, and we wanted to dress up people.
It's not an emotion that you can put into words, and so to have somebody from your community reach out and offer you something that meant something to them as a way of helping you get through that process it means a lot to the families.
Madeline O'Neill will have the full backstory on this emotional project and what it can mean for all of the families involved coming up tonight at 6. Against all odds, the Brewers will start their playoff run tonight against the Los Angeles Dodgers.
The Brewers are entering the playoffs as one of 2 teams with a losing record during the regular season due to the expanded playoff system. They'll be without their star reliever Devin Williams during the best-of-3 wildcard series. He's out with some arm issues. The Brewers are the underdog this year as they face the Dodgers, the best team in baseball. First pitch is tonight at 9:08. You can see it on ESPN. Well, still to come at 4, it's a simple task. Filmmakers are given a topic, and they have 2 days to make a movie.
Oh, sure, no problem. We'll have a preview of Madison's 48-hour film project. The Madison edition, when Live at 4 continues.
You're watching News 3 Now, live at 4.
Through Monday at Ashley Home Store. Pay just $1 down for complete rooms full of furniture. Interest-free for 5 years. Seriously, just $1 required at checkout. Plus, save up to 50% off clearance items while they last. Only at Ashley Home Store. This is home.
It's the final days of Ford Truck Month. Last chance to get great deals on the trucks as tough as the people who drive them. Like Ford Ranger, And F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 43 years. What are you waiting for? Don't miss Ford Truck Month. Now get the Built Ford Tough F-150 STX for only $279 a month. Don't miss the final days of Ford Truck Month.
What would Joe Biden's plan do for you? Families with young children could get nearly $7,000 for childcare. Buying your first home, you'll get $15,000 towards the down payment. If you get paid by the hour, your income could grow by as much as $14,000. Older seniors, your yearly Social Security benefits could increase by $1,300. The Biden plan. The wealthy and big corporations pay more, you benefit.
I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
Getting your air ducts thoroughly cleaned takes the trained professionals at Stanley Steamer using the most powerful equipment to get the most powerful results. Our equipment goes deep inside your ducts, removing years of dirt, pet hair, allergens, even dust mites. Unlike other air duct cleaning companies, Stanley Steamer cleans your entire system. Just look at how much dirt can be removed. Call today for a free inspection and save $50 on a cleaning.
Stanley Steamer gets your home cleaner.
Let us help you create your family's recipe for health. SSM Health and News 3 Now are making it easy by putting all the ingredients right at your fingertips. With topics like healthy habits, nutrition, and mental well-being, there's something for everyone. Visit Channel 3000's Time for Kids page for advice from SSM Health experts. And catch fresh and informative reports on News 3 Now.
Take time for kids with SSM Health and News 3 Now.
A woman who was young had COVID-19. I remember her because she had a bracelet that had the names of her children. She asked me, "Doctor, am I going to be okay?" And I could not give her the answer that I wanted to give her. There's no excuse for why we don't have this under control at this point. Joe Biden listens to medical experts. He actually has a plan that does the things that we should have been doing many months ago. And Joe Biden is not going to let his ego get in the way of fighting the disease.
FFPAC's responsible for the content of this ad.
Through Monday at Ashley Home Store. Pay just $1 down for the best sleep of your life. You pay just $1 at checkout for any mattress in our lineup. Seriously. Plus, savings up to 55% off. And no interest financing for up to 6 years. Only at Ashley Home Store. This is home.
The nation's top drug makers were on the hot seat today on Capitol Hill.
They were grilled over the soaring cost of medication. Pharmaceutical executives defended their pricing policies before the House Oversight Committee, at times admitting to the enormous strain on Americans. The committee released the results of a year-and-a-half investigation finding that Celgene and Teva Pharmaceuticals raised prices to boost profits and bonuses. Democrat Carolyn Maloney challenged the former Celgene CEO on the soaring cost of the cancer drug Revlimid.
It does highlight that the United States is the home of medical innovation and that it is a free market.
But since launching Revlimid in 2005, you raised the price 22 times.
1 in 4 Americans taking prescription drugs report difficulty in affording them. The CDC says Americans spend more on prescription drugs than any other country in the world. Stocks closed higher today, but had their worst September since 2011. The Dow Industrials added 329 points, ending the day at 27,781. The NASDAQ was up 82, and the S&P 500 gained 27. On September 13th, 24 teams spent a weekend of creative blood, sweat, and tears making a movie together.
Participants in Madison's 48-hour film project have just that, 2 days to write, shoot, edit, and produce a completed film in a genre that is selected at random.
The screenings of the film is this Friday at the Highway 18 Drive-In Theater in Jefferson. I love that. Michael King is the Madison producer of the 48-hour film festival. He joins us now. Michael, thanks for being on the show today.
Hi, Michael. Good to see you.
Thanks for having me. Good to see you both.
The drive-in theater thing is brilliant.
We really looked around. We'll actually be doing checkerboard parking, so people will have 8 acres in which to spread out.
Oh, that's wonderful. Now, this year, tell us, for people who aren't familiar with the project, how are the genres selected? And I know you also had an extra issue this year because of the pandemic. So you threw that in the requirements as well, right?
Yes. Normally, we have basically a big gathering party where we all get together and the teams will pull a genre out of the hat. It might be comedy. It might be film noir. It might be horror. There are about 25, 26 different genres that they won't know until the first hour of their competition. This year, in an effort to be safe, we did that all digitally, and we had a wheel of destiny. They got to digitally spin a wheel, and then they could see, oh, looks like I got martial arts film. That'll be interesting. And then before they could complete or even begin their filmmaking process, we had them complete a Safe Sets certification. So they all knew what the best practices would be to complete a film within that time frame to be safe medically.
And the teams have to write it, get actors, shoot it, edit it.
The whole thing.
The whole thing in 2 days.
Yep. All the creative stuff has to be done during that 48-hour window. They can do some things like find a location, like maybe they'll know, and this year a lot of teams said, well, I know I'm shooting at my house, and that sort of thing, but none of the creative processes can be done in advance.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
And then as an initial kicker, we always add 3 elements that they must include. There's a prop that they must include. There's a line of dialogue that they must include. And there's also a character that they must include in their narrative. So it really would be very hard for them to do anything in advance.
Boy, I just keep sitting here thinking, what would we do, you know?
Exactly.
What is the quality of these films like?
Honestly, it's amazing. People will think, well, geez, how good can it be? Frankly, it's Wisconsin, and everybody's a volunteer, so they can't possibly be any good. The reality is there are a number of professional filmmakers in our competition. And this year, I honestly believe this is the best we've ever had. I don't know if it's all those quality filmmakers have been cooped up for 5-6 months and just needed to get their creativity out, but we have some really amazing stuff. For example, we have a claymation film. I can't imagine what it would take to do stop motion in 48 hours.
Wow, that's impressive.
Any COVID-themed films?
Yeah, well, this year we had a climate film as one of the genres, and we had some films that used the pandemic as a plot driver. I don't think we had anybody that specifically said, well, my story's about the pandemic. Mm-hmm. We definitely had films and teams that took a look at the world around them and tried to make art out of that.
Do you choose a winner, or is it just about enjoying the experience of seeing everybody else's work?
It's amazing that Kat, my partner, and I are pretty much the only 2 people in this entire process that don't get a vote. There is a winner, and we have a panel of professional filmmakers from around the country, and there will be one film that will advance from here to our international round of competition. And from there'll be about 10 films that'll actually make the Cannes Film Festival in France. But for us, we don't vote in that. We don't vote in the audience favorite competition, which will take place at the theater on Friday night. Everybody else gets to vote. We just get to sit back and be really impressed with the community that we work in.
Yeah, it is impressive work indeed. It is this Friday. Tickets are $12. Can be found on 48hourfilm.com/Madison Friday night at the Highway 18 Outdoor Theater in Jefferson.
Michael, is it rain or shine?
It is rain or shine. I talked to the theater owner. He said the only way we would not screen is if we had heavy snowfall. So
hopefully
it's 2020. Don't even say that.
Hopefully that won't happen. Michael,
thanks for talk to your people at the weather desk. Maybe put in a word.
All right.
Yeah, we will.
We'll do what we can. Thank you, Michael.
Great to see you. Thanks for joining us today.
Take care.
Still to come at 4, C-Spot Run, C-Spot Walk Down the Streets.
Robo-dogs are roaming the planet. We'll take a look at how they're being put to work coming up after Chris's firstborn forecast.
If you're at home thinking about your financial plan, so are we. Prudential helps 1 in 7 Americans with their financial needs. That's over 25 million people. With over 90 years of investment experience, our thousands of financial professionals can help with secure video chat or on the phone. We make it easy for you with online tools, e-signatures, and no medical exam life insurance. Plan for better days. Go to Prudential.com or talk to an advisor.
Happy Hour just got hoppier at IHOP with a $5 menu featuring pancakes, burgers, and more yum-yums. So while you can't buy happiness, you can buy hoppiness. IHOP Hour, every day from 2 to 10 p.m.
Have some home projects on your list? Whether it's a fix now or fix up down the road, count on Home Advisor's trusted local pros to get the job done right. It's easy to schedule, check prices, and pay for all your home projects. So get the Home Advisor app and we'll do everything to fix your everything.
This is our chance to put the darkness of the past 4 years behind us, to end the anger, the insults, the division, and start fresh in America.
I don't pledge allegiance to red states of America or blue states of America. I pledge allegiance to the United States of America. I'm going to fight as hard for those who supported me as those who did not support me. We have a chance to put anger and division that overtaken this country behind us. And we can. We've done it so many times in our history. We've begun anew. We can get control of this virus. We can reward work. We can make healthcare affordable. We can be a safe and just nation. We can deal with the existential threat of climate change. We can be what we are at our best. One nation, one people, one America. I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
Whether you're looking to connect with customers, find new ones, or sell more of your awesome stuff, Constant Contact has powerful email marketing tools and more to help you do more business online. Power on with Constant Contact. Try it free today.
Just one drop.
Gorilla Super Glue Micro Precise. Of course.
Precise application, controlled dispensing with Gorilla Strength for the toughest jobs on planet Earth.
Knoll Manor Retirement Living in Verona provides extraordinary supportive living with compassion and grace. We offer independent living, assisted living, and closer care living options. We understand that staying social is important to everyone's well-being. That's why Knoll Manor provides engaging activities and ways to stay active and connect with others. There's yoga, bingo, outdoor music, and so much more, all while keeping your health and safety in mind. Knoll Manor Living. Welcome home. Contact us today to set up your virtual tour.
Well, take a look at this. Oh. This rally car soars through the air for almost 3 seconds before crashing down on its hood and resting in the field. Take another look as the driver speeds down the road, lots up the brakes, and has no chance to navigate that left-hand turn before flying through the air. The reason for the crash is a misunderstanding of the course between the driver and co-pilot during a rally in France over the weekend. The car destroyed, but incredibly, both the driver and co-driver escaped without serious injuries.
Oh, thank goodness. I thought maybe this was intentional, a movie scene or something.
No, this is real.
Wow.
It just shows you how safe cars are these days. You can walk out of that.
That's a good point, yeah.
I have a friend who races professionally, and he will tell you all about the safety that they put in those cars because things like that happen on a regular basis. It's quite incredible.
Yeah, it is. I'm glad they're okay.
All right. Well, we're looking forward towards the weekend, of course, already at this point of the week. I know it's only Wednesday, but another shot of cooler air is working its way on in, and we have to continue to play, splash, and dash. I'll tell you when the best chance for showers is coming up.
At Harker Heating and Cooling, you can save a whole bunch of money when you buy a furnace. You know what's even better? Saving even more money when you purchase a furnace and an air conditioner at the same time.
Harker Heating and Cooling.
The Social Security Administration just released a report saying that if a plan like the one Trump is proposing goes into effect, the Social Security Trust Fund would be, and I quote, permanently depleted by the middle of calendar year 2023. Put it plainly, Trump's plan would wipe out Social Security. If I'm your president, we're going to protect Social Security and Medicare. You have my word. I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
We believe every baby deserves a healthy start. Yet many new parents in our community are struggling to afford the basic necessities. You can help change that.
October 8th through 11th, please donate to the News 3 Now Community Baby Shower. Drop off infant care items safely at these no-contact drive-through sites throughout Madison. Visit Channel 3000 for complete details. News 3 Now Community Baby Shower, sponsored by Viridian Homes and Dave Jones, Inc.
I wanted my hepatitis C gone.
I put off treating mine.
Epclusa treats all main types of chronic hep C. Whatever your type, Epclusa could be your kind of cure.
I just found out about mine.
I knew for years. Epclusa has a 98% overall cure rate.
I had no symptoms of hepatitis C.
Mine caused liver damage.
Epclusa is only one pill, once a day, taken with or without food for 12 weeks. Before starting Epclusa, your doctor will test if you have had hepatitis B, which may flare up and could cause serious liver problems during and after treatment. Tell your doctor if you have had hepatitis B, other liver or kidney problems, HIV or other medical conditions, and all medicines you take, including herbal supplements. Taking amiodarone with Epclusa may cause a serious slowing of your heart rate. Common side effects include headache and tiredness. Ask your doctor today if Epclusa is your kind of cure.
At Harker Heating and Cooling, you can save a whole bunch of money when you buy a furnace. You know what's even better? Saving even more money when you purchase a furnace and an air conditioner at the same time.
Harker Heating and Cooling.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Three things to know on this Wednesday afternoon. First things first, Splash and Dash is the name of the game. We're going to be playing that at least into tomorrow. Then it's below normal temperatures through next Monday, and some patchy frost is possible, not just Saturday morning, but now Friday morning as well. We've done a couple updates to the forecast. Here's how high-resolution Doppler looks right now. We've seen more of these showers blossom up as we moved into the afternoon. There have even been some lightning strikes really throughout parts of northeastern or northwestern Wisconsin and northeastern Minnesota there. That's all working its way towards the south and east. We have some of that activity closer to the Madison metro, but really it's passed throughout northern parts of Dane County, the one that went through the western part of town. That shower has fallen apart. So that being said, let me know if you're seeing anything, but that chance to see a shower, it will be there as we go through the rest of the evening and especially into tomorrow as this impulse continues to sweep on through. Here's what we have. There we go. Across the country right now, two cold fronts, one pushed on towards the south and east yesterday. You've got the cooler air behind that. Here's the secondary one, and the air behind that is what I would say is downright chilly. And here's what I have to back myself up here. We are already cooler out there now, but temperatures are 4 degrees warmer than 24 hours ago, and much of the areas towards our south and east are warmer than they were at this time yesterday. But then back towards the north and west, that's where temperatures are almost 20 degrees cooler than what the temperature was at this time yesterday. And it's a push of colder air that is certainly coming in, and this will bring with it the potential for the first widespread frost of the season, which typically happens in those early days of October. So this is certainly nothing that's unheard of for us. But there's good news. A lot of folks want to hold on to that warm weather just a little while longer. Well, that's what happens as we begin to move into next week. All signs are pointing towards a developing ridge throughout the western part of the country, sending warmth our way, especially towards the end of next week. I'll show you just how warm momentarily. In the meantime, let's talk a little bit more about those splash and dash showers that I'm expecting overnight and into tomorrow. This is 10 o'clock tonight. Things may actually calm down briefly. Temperatures will be around 51, but now we're at 6:30 tomorrow morning. Those showers are popping right back up, and they're going to be with us throughout the day on Thursday, 2:30 in the afternoon, and here we are with temperatures only topping out at 53 before we start to cool things down again moving into tomorrow night. Now watch this. 2 o'clock in the morning, some areas towards the north are already dipping down towards the freezing mark. 34 is where I'm calling it for the overnight low headed into Friday. So that's the reason for that alert day. A high of 50 on Friday, 35 Friday night into Saturday. Here we are though, by next Friday and the next Saturday, temperatures could return to the low 70s.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
I turned the heat on last night.
I did too. You got to turn the air on by next week.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Chris.
Thanks, Chris. The internet spotlight is shining directly on Spot.
Robo-dogs have long been the stuff of science fiction and specialized engineers, but now they're making their way into the world.
And as CNN's Jeannie Mose reports, that is freaking some people out.
Oh, my phone. It was a Robo-dog video.
Hello, friend.
That had the internet both barking and wagging its tail.
I thought it was a little bit creepy, but I was excited to see it because I've never seen a robot in real life.
Especially not in remote northern Ontario, where Nathan Canosway shot the video from the car. It reminded many of this driver getting mauled by a Robo-dog in the Netflix series Black Mirror. But Nathan and a friend survived their encounter.
Oh my God. I love you.
Instead of a leash, it was handled by a guy with a controller.
He said that it was for a job. So we told him he had a pretty good job, I guess.
Walking Spot, the Boston Dynamics Robo-dog that's been spotted lately.
For your own safety and for those around you, please stand at least 1 meter apart.
Telling people in a Singapore park to maintain social distance. The founder of Boston Dynamics told CNBC.
We have about 120 out in the world.
Stephen Colbert noticed Spot.
People would be a lot more receptive if the dog was cuter, cuddlier, and less dystopian.
Like Steven's dog?
Here's the Benny bot. There it is.
Boston Dynamics is making Spot cuddlier by showing robo-dogs dancing, working together, working out together. The Massachusetts State Police bomb squad tested Spot. SpaceX has one, sighted amid clouds of liquid nitrogen. Will Spot become the future rover on Mars? After years of being taunted with a hockey stick, kicked, to demonstrate the ability to recover, and even being yanked. By the equivalent of its tail, Spot still persevered. Intended mostly for industrial use, Spot now sells for $74,500. The company warns Spot is not certified safe for in-home use or intended for use near children, but at least he won't attack. You can expect to be hounded.
Dude, Spot, you are amazing.
By more Spot sightings, see Spot trot.
I love you so much.
Jeannie Mose, CNN, New York.
Still creeps me out.
Fascinating and frightening.
You can't pet him. I'll tell
No.
you. Never replace the real thing. Okay, we'll be right back.
Through Monday at Furniture and Appliance Mart. Pay just $1 down for top brand appliances. That's right, you pay just $1. Seriously. And finance your entire purchase interest-free through 2021. Only at Furniture and Appliance Mart inside Ashley Home Store off the Beltline.
I've been a police officer for nearly 32 years. Joe Biden does not have the backs of police officers.
Joe Biden's silence is encouraging the rioters. If Joe Biden's elected, it's just going to continue.
Joe Biden empowers these people. The more you empower them, the more crime they go to commit.
In Joe Biden's America, we'll all be in danger. If you support the police and you want to be safe in your home and you want your children safe, support Donald Trump.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
I can't believe it.
What? That our new house is haunted by Casper the Friendly Ghost.
Hey, Jill. Hey, Kurt. Movies? I'll get snacks.
No, I can't believe how easy it was to save hundreds of dollars on our car insurance with Geico.
I got snacks. Ooh, I got popcorn. I got caramel corn. I got kettle corn. Right. Am I saying too loud?
Believe it. Geico could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
We believe every baby deserves a healthy start. Yet many new parents in our community are struggling to afford the basic necessities. You can help change that.
October 8th through 11th, please donate to the News 3 Now Community Baby Shower. Drop off infant care items safely at these no-contact drive-through sites throughout Madison. Visit Channel 3000 for complete details. News 3 Now Community Baby Shower, sponsored by Viridian Homes and Dave Jones Inc.
Hey, you guys gonna get started?
We're just waiting for the activation fee.
But I already paid for the day.
Yeah, and then it's $100 to activate us.
Activate you?
Mm-hmm.
What are you, a cyborg?
It's crazy to charge people for things they already bought.
I'm gonna get my wallet.
That's why at US Cellular, we speak fair and never charge activation fees. Switch to US Cellular and get $500 off the latest smartphones with no hidden requirements. US Cellular. Upgrade to fair.
Through Monday at Ashley Home Store. Pay just $1 down for the best sleep of your life. You pay just $1 at checkout for any mattress in our lineup. Seriously. Plus, savings up to 55% off. And no interest financing for up to 6 years. Only at Ashley Home Store. This is home.
Tonight at 5, a Madison School District employee is doing something good for students as they learn from home. What she's doing for them at 5.
Chilly weather with shower chances will continue through Thursday. Frost now looks to be more likely for Thursday night and Friday night as well. My first warn forecast at 5.
And ahead at 6, a Columbus man finds a meaningful way to honor his late mother, how he's giving new life to her old wedding dress. That's tonight. Join us for News 3 Now at 6.
Here's a live look from our Platteville sky camera. It's kind of nice down there.
Yeah, look at the sunshine. Very nice day today.
Well, patients recovering from COVID-19 are now grappling with the aftermath. For some, the shock to the system causes hair to fall out in handfuls.
The shedding is temporary, but as Michael George reports, it can continue for months.
Colleen Gaffney spent 2 days in the hospital in March, fighting COVID-19 and pneumonia. Recovering over the summer, she noticed her hair was falling out in clumps.
When I would brush my hair after the shower, the brush would just be full of hair.
By September, she'd lost about 50% of her hair.
All through the front, I can feel it, and the actual thickness of my braids were much thinner overall.
At the Cleveland Clinic, dermatologist Shilpi Caterpal has been seeing 20 to 25 patients a month with significant hair loss.
This phenomenon of hair loss is called telogen effluvium, and all it means is that a large portion of the hair that's normally in the growing phase gets shifted to the shedding phase as a result of some major shock.
The problem isn't unique to COVID. It can be triggered by any shock to the system, physical or psychological, and generally begins 2 to 3 months after the trauma. In the midst of the pandemic, COVID is the major trigger.
People are seeing hair everywhere, like in their combs, on their pillows, on their clothes, on the floor. The hair is just everywhere.
Dr. Caterpal says the shedding should end within 6 months, and the hair will start to regrow. She suggests managing stress through yoga and meditation to help speed the process, or using over-the-counter minoxidil. Gaffney also takes vitamin supplements and uses platelet-rich plasma injections to stimulate hair follicles.
I got through COVID. I'm feeling great, and now this. It's a little extra reminder of what I went through.
If hair loss is the only lingering symptom of the coronavirus, she feels fortunate, knowing it could have been even worse. Michael George, CBS News.
This type of hair loss typically has no other symptoms.
For people who also have itching or pain, the doctor recommends coming in to have it looked at. Well, the growing season just about over, but there's still plenty to do in the yard. It's time to get your plant and garden questions answered. The number to call, 270-9933.
There she is. Lisa Briggs is standing by in the backyard, ready to take your calls. The number again, 270-9933. Lisa will be right with you right after the break.
Right now, you can get 0% APR financing for 60 months on a new 2020 Toyota RAV4. To learn more about this and other great offers, visit Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Joe Biden isn't an epidemiologist. He's not an economist or military general. But what he is the kind of leader who listens to the experts and a candidate who has earned their support. And what he'll be is a president who leads us out of this crisis and a commander-in-chief who respects those who have served. Because Joe Biden knows this moment is not about him, but about what we can do together. FF PAC is responsible for the content of this ad.
I was sworn into the United States Senate in a hospital. My wife and daughter had been killed in an automobile crash. And lying in the bed were my two little boys. I couldn't have imagined what it would have been like if I didn't have insurance to cover them immediately and fully. 40 years later, one of those little boys, my son Bo, was diagnosed with terminal cancer, given months to live. I can't fathom what would have happened if the insurance companies had the power to say, last few months you're on your own. The fact of the matter is, healthcare is personal to me. Obamacare is personal to me. When I see the President of the United States try to eliminate this healthcare in the middle of a public health crisis, that's personal to me too. We've got to build on what we did because every American deserves affordable healthcare. I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message. You were always the responsible one, so much like me, always taking care of everyone else. But this wasn't your responsibility. I already took care of the arrangements. The Ryans made it so easy. I didn't want you to worry about a thing. It's my last gift to you, my lovely daughter.
Look at the traffic as folks begin to commute on this Wednesday afternoon. So far, things continue to remain in overall good shape for us. Average speeds on the Beltline are roughly right around the 60-mile-per-hour mark. And then here we are with your drive times. Your slowest route is going to take you about 7 minutes.
All right, Chris, thank you. If you're looking for fall colors, it might be a good weekend to head north. This is video from Wausau. It's going to be a great year for leaf peekers. 2020's weather has provided the perfect recipe for the number of red, orange, and purple leaves around the area. Temperatures and moisture of the soil, big factors. Right now, the colors are peaking north of Highway 29.
Oh, that just makes you relax, doesn't it?
Really does.
Helps you exhale.
Well, it's time to get your plant and garden questions answered.
Lisa Briggs from the Bruce Company is on the weather patio. The number to call today is 270-9933. Hi, Lisa. How you doing?
Hello. How are you guys?
Great.
Pretty good.
Let's go right to the phones.
Okay.
And we'll start with Sherry in Lowell. Hi, Sherry. What's your question?
Hi. I got some plants earlier this year. I got some eucalyptus and lavender. And I was just wondering, how do I keep the bugs from coming in the house? Because when I trim my lavender or my eucalyptus, I had these little flies.
So the little flies might be fungus gnats. That's if they're just flying around and not on your plant. They could be fungus gnats, which are, they lay eggs in the soil and they don't really bother the plant. Or they could be whitefly, which would do some damage to the plant. Either way, what you're going to want to do is treat your plants with some insecticidal soap. You can get that at the garden center. Spray them down, and then since we're so close to the weather where it's really cold, I would also get a systemic insecticide. You can put that in the soil, and that will help if there are any eggs hanging around. That will take care of the eggs as well. Then just give them a good wash and bring them inside. Good sun, though, sunny spot for wherever you're going to put them.
All right, let's go to Brenda now in Janesville. Hi, Brenda.
Oh, hi.
Hi, what's your question?
Oh, I've got plants, tomato plants especially, that have brown spots, yellow and brown spots on the leaves. I didn't get much of the tomatoes this year, and now that the leaves are falling from the trees, these brown spots are all over everything now. The leaves are, and I thought, I can't keep it out of my plants. Is this going to carry over to next year, or what should I do?
You probably have one of the tomato leaf blights. There are 3 of them that are pretty common around here. They're in the air. It doesn't have anything to do with spots that are on other plants. These are fungal diseases that just attack tomatoes. So if your tomatoes are growing in pots, make sure that you change out your potting soil next year. Don't use the same soil. And if you're growing them in a garden bed or a raised bed, then move them to a different section. And then you're probably going to want to treat them preventatively with a fungicide. When the weather is humid and warm, we have a lot of tomato diseases, fungal diseases, and it's been that way for the last couple of years, and so they're just kind of hanging around.
Yeah, it does feel like year after year that happens.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to Helen in Wanakee. Hi, Helen. What's your question?
Yes, I was just wondering, when do you cut back your roses, or you just leave them until next spring?
If you've got shrub roses, Helen, I would leave them until next spring. You're going to get some winter dieback anyway. You might as well get it from where you are now instead of from where you cut back. So in the spring, when you've got new growth coming out that's about 1/4 of an inch long, then you can trim them. You can cut back whatever died. You can also trim them to shape. If you have hybrid roses, and hardly anybody does anymore, what you'll want to do is cover the crowns with some bark mulch, cut them back so they fit into a cone, and then put that cone on once it starts getting really cold.
All right, let's go to Diane in Oregon. Hi, Diane.
Hi there.
What's your question?
I'm wondering, is it now we should do the fall fertilizing in the yard, or wait till our last clipping?
You could put your fall fertilizer down now. The weather is cooling, the ground is cooling. Do a good rake and, get any foliage that has already fallen, clean up the grass, and then go ahead and put the fall fertilizer down.
All right, Jackie in Cuba City, you're next. What's your question?
Yes, thank you. When do I trim my burning bush?
Burning bush are really, you can trim them at any time since they don't really flower. They don't really care when you prune them back. So if you want to wait until the leaves fall off so you can see what the structure of the plant looks like, you can wait until then, or you can do it next spring, whatever fits into your gardening chore schedule.
Yeah. All right, you don't want to do it now because they got all the red leaves on them now. I'm sorry. Okay, let's go to Rosie in Linden Station. Hi, Rosie.
Hi. I would like to know, my hydrangeas have not blossomed in the last 3 years. They're beautiful, big 4-foot-high plants, but they won't blossom. Should I cut them back to the ground, or what do I do with them?
Rosie, are your hydrangeas, do they have cone-shaped flowers or round flowers?
Round.
Okay, so those hydrangeas, it's best to do the pruning in the spring when you see where the buds are. I would maybe put some mulch on the crowns of the plants once the ground freezes. So get a couple bags of bark mulch, put in your garage so it won't freeze, and maybe around mid to late November, pile some mulch on to protect the buds that are already forming for next year's flowers and see if that helps. And then prune back in the spring.
Okay. A lot of calls in today.
Yeah, it's a busy time in the garden.
It sure is. You'd think it'd be quiet, but it's not. Lisa, thank you.
Great to see you, Lisa. We'll do this again soon.
Too.
Thanks for your calls today, everybody.
We have a final check of your forecast coming up.
Wells Asphalt Paving, expert paving for over 40 years. Now offering $250 off your asphalt paving project. For residential and commercial, from new construction to replacements, call today and save at Wells Asphalt Paving.
For our seniors, Social Security is a sacred obligation, a sacred promise made. The current president is threatening to break that promise. He's proposing to eliminate a tax that pays for almost half the Social Security without any way of making up for that lost revenue. I will not let that happen. If I'm your president, we're going to protect Social Security and Medicare. You have my word. I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
Join Anytime Fitness on Tuesday, October 6th during our 12-hour sale and literally only pay what you can. It's our way of helping you get back to making healthy happen. Pay what you can on Tuesday, October 6th at Anytime Fitness.
We made USAA insurance for this season and the veterans that never quit on their team. When being a fan gets tough and stretching your budget gets even tougher, our agents put in the time and legwork for you. So saving on auto insurance is easy. Because saving a little extra goes a long way. USAA. What you're made of, we're made for.
USAA. Wells Asphalt Paving, expert paving for over 40 years. Now offering $250 off your asphalt paving project. For residential and commercial, from new construction to replacements, call today and save at Wells Asphalt Paving.
Tonight at 5, what changes are happening to the presidential debate after last night's chaos? Plus, teachers from the Madison and Milwaukee teachers unions are calling on the state to order virtual instruction for all types of schooling.
Important voter information, especially if you're voting by mail. News 3 Now has step-by-step guidance for requesting and then tracking your ballot online to make sure your vote counts on November 3rd, Thursday, on News 3 Now at 10.
All right, 2 alert days in the forecast. Friday morning and Saturday morning, that's where temperatures will be down into the low to mid 30s. That's for Madison. As you work your way towards the north, temperatures could be even colder into the low 30s and upper 20s. So widespread frost, is something that is certainly going to be possible. But that 6 to 10 day outlook shows you we're in for another pattern change, one for warmer temperatures.
All right, thank you, Chris. Tomorrow here on Live at 4, veterinarian Carrie Donahue takes your pet health questions.
And we go behind the wheel with Harvey Briggs in the Chevy Trailblazer. It is not the Trailblazer of old. That's coming up tomorrow on Live at 4.